Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu syarafil anbiya wal mursalin. Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
A little bit of introduction before we go to the topic of higher knowledge and secret. Today we're going to touch on higher knowledge. Secret will be week after this. Now, in order for a person to be a spiritual guide, to bring people to be aware of the existence of the Almighty God, they themselves must be knowledgeable. They themselves must not be blind. If you don't have the knowledge, the certainty of knowledge, how can you guide people? If you don't have certainty of vision, how can you guide people? Your knowledge is not that high. And if you do not want to learn, then you are deaf and blind and naive. Again, I repeat, listen carefully. If you don't have the certainty of knowledge to bring people to the knowledge of God, you can't teach. You don't have certainty of vision, then you can never make people aware of the existence of God. You see, you need the certainty of knowledge and certainty of vision. You need this before you can teach. And you must be very clear of this. So a person who has knowledge is not the person who has no knowledge. It's not the same. A person who can see is not the same as a person who is blind. You must have a higher knowledge in order to teach this. Remember, I said, you need a higher knowledge. If you can explain, he's the manifest, he's the hidden. Wherever I turn, there is his containment. You can explain he's the subtle and encompassing all. You can't explain how great he is, how vast he is. You can't explain how he sees, how he hears. How can you teach? Not only you can't teach, you don't have no knowledge, you are also blind. And please, if they cannot accept you, just put them aside. They refuse to learn. And Allah say they are deaf and blind. Remember, I say again, you don't need to worship them. Then don't need to put them on the pedestal. They are blind. They don't have the knowledge. You cannot accept them on your level. And worse, they cannot accept you. Not only Allah say, if you don't know, learn from people who have knowledge, they don't want. So they are blind and deaf. Don't bother about them. We are Sufis. We are on the higher level. If they say they are level with us, then they must have knowledge of God. They must be able to explain what it means by He's the manifest, the hidden. He's the subtle, encompassing all. How great He is, you have to explain. How vast He is. How He sees the ant in the earth having stomach ache. At the same time, the fish in the ocean, the bird flying, animal in the forest. How does He see? How does He hear? How does He know? If you cannot explain all this, you have no knowledge. Your level is low. very low. So please, do not put yourself to their level and hope for them to bless you. They don't understand you. Just put them aside. If they cannot accept you, so be it. They are at the lower level. They are blind and no knowledge. Allah says it's not the same people who have knowledge and those who have no knowledge. It's not the same person who is blind and a person can see. Alhamdulillah, I've guided many of you, some 30 years or more, some 20 years or more, some 10 years or more. Only one topic, the knowledge of God. Only one. Sufism and touching on the knowledge of God. If you learn a subject for 10 years, if you are not specialist, then what will you be? Many of you have learned with me more than 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. Same subject in and out. Only one subject. You are the specialist. Okay, you are not blind. You can explain, you can teach. And some of you already start teaching. Okay, and you are knowledgeable. Okay, you can teach. So please remember this. Your level of intellect is higher intellect that you can explain many verses in the Quran when others say it is mutashabihat, cannot be explained. But we can because we are the Sufi. Okay? And these people, they cannot accept you. And some of them want to use their own programming or what to show that you are not within this program, you out. We don't bother about their program. You can see later, they are only to appease the common people, the people. They don't teach you how to be aware of the existence of Allah. Okay, we see this very soon. And they cannot defend Allah of all the accusers or accusations made by the Western world against Allah. And we can. Alhamdulillah, that's why we can be at the forefront. Okay? So this, I need to impress on you that your level of knowledge about Allah is higher than the normal one. So don't succumb to them. Whatever they want to say, so be it. They have no knowledge and they are blind. Please remember this. Okay? Now, let's talk about the higher knowledge now. Okay. Higher knowledge, the greatness of Allah. See? Your Lord is indeed most kind, most merciful. And yet people say Allah is cruel, Allah is sadistic, Allah is diabolical, Allah enjoy torturing people, Allah is mad. And this is our job, to defend his exaltedness. He's most gentle to his servant, and yet people said he put people in hell, he burned them to cinder, make whole again, burn to cinder, make whole again. They say human being also will not do that kind of thing. This God has no humanitarian feeling. Okay. We see later. He's the most forgiving and the most loving. And yet people say, you done wrong, you'll be punished. Okay? There's no forgiving by him. You put in hell and suffer eternally. And yet God said, indeed he's forbearing and forgiving. And yet people say otherwise. For Allah is to all people most surely full of kindness, most merciful. Look at this. His attributes, beautiful attributes. and perfect justice. When they give justice, is a perfect justice, you know. And you see, Allah is never unjust to his servant. Indeed, Allah wrong none, not even as much an atom's weight. Never will ye be dealt unjustly in the very least. Look, very clear. All these verses show the exaltedness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the God that we worship. There's no two ways about it. That's it. But yet, the accusation, see, God does not wrong people at all. It is they who wrong them. You wrong yourself. Woe to you people for the way you describe God. Okay? And see, they were not happy because it's stated in this hadith or tradition, every one of us born has been destined to be dweller of hell, paradise. So they are unfair. We are born, only listed, we are hell dweller. Only listed, we are paradise dwellers. It's unfair. Or they predestined. Look, that is the interpretation of those who have lower knowledge. In actual fact, what you're having there is a script. You must act as in the scope of a hell dweller. You must act in the scope of a paradise. I mean, you got a script to become crook. You got a script to become hero. That's all. Allah is not cruel. Okay? And the route to achieve our destiny has been made easy. Yes. And he prepared this world for the stage and act, right, accordingly. And every human, sorry, yeah, and every human being's destiny we tied to his neck. On the day of resurrection, you shall bring forth for him a record which you will find wide open. And this is your script. When you are resurrected, he will show you acted this, you acted that, you acted this, you acted a mother, you acted as grandmother, your father, show your script. That is the interpretation of a Sufism. It's not he's torturing people. He's just giving you the script, you act accordingly. Okay? And you see here, Allah inspired with wickedness and righteousness. Of course, he's a director. He gives you the script and he directs you. If you got the script to be crook, he directs you to be crook. Okay. You have a script to be unbelievers, he will direct you as unbelievers. And when Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was not happy, he said, oh Allah, I endeavor, and yet many of my ummah are still unbelievers. Why, oh Allah? Allah said, hey Muhammad, your job is to pass the message. If I want the whole world to be believers, I can do so. He doesn't want. It's his script. In other words, mind your business. This is my script. I want it this way. Until today, we have unbelievers 2.4 million. I checked again. That was a 2015 survey. 2.4 billion unbelievers. 2015 surveys. And 1.8 billion believers. Why this 2.4 billion? He wants it that way. Not only that, until today you have prostitution still surviving. Why? He wants it that way. That is his. There's only one will, and that is his will. There's no other will, only him. Okay? So he inspired you to do right or wrong according to your script. And according to your script, he will lead you astray. Okay? According to your script, also he guides you so you become imam. You become believers. And you become Christian. You become Buddhism, Hinduism. Your script. You can't do anything. It's your script. Act accordingly. And you died being a Buddhist, you died being a Christian, you died being a Muslim. But you adhere to his will. You adhere to his script. You didn't turn away. You subscribe 100% to his script. And you can see later that you gain from there. Later you can see, I'll show you. And here, when their skin have been burned, we shall replace them with new one, then continue to burn you in hell. Is Allah doing it? No, this is just to frighten you. So far, anybody in hell? Want to be anybody being tortured now? No, nobody in hell, nobody. He wants to frighten you so that you can come back to fall. You can see here. They are destined for the fire, and thereby they shall be abide eternally. This verse to frighten, you can see later. And therefore they cannot accept. The idea that a good God would send people to a burning hell is utterly damnable to me. Like the raving of insanity, they say God is raving of insanity, superstition gone to shit. Crazy. God is crazy. I don't want to have anything to do with such God. See the accusation. See? And Reverend Franklin Graham said, the God of Islam is not the same God of the Christian or Judeo-Christian faith. It's a different God. And I believe a very evil, and Islam is a very wicked religion. Right? And you see again, I steer clear of God. He's incredible sadist. You see the accusation. They don't know about Allah. They talk rubbish. Okay. Here again. By the year 2000, we will, I hope, raise our children to believe in human potential, not God. If there is a supreme being, he's crazy. This guy. If divine maker fashioned everything that exists, he designed breast cancer for women, childhood leukemia, cerebral palsy, leprosy, AIDS, Alzheimer's disease, Down syndrome, and even allowed fox to rip apart the rabbits, and the rabbits shriek in pain, and cheetah to slaughter the fawns. No human will be cruel enough to plan such horror. If a supernatural being did so, he is a monster, not all merciful. Okay? And then you see all the calamity in the world. They say what? The wrath of God. The wrath of God. When there's a tsunami, wrath of God. God is cruel, kill millions of people, tsunami. The wrath of God when fire burned, you know. So you can see here, tsunami, so many died. Okay. You see, earthquake, so many died. This is the wrath of God. God angry. You know? You see the fire, all that. Then the flood, the insects, and the calamity, the ships, helicopter or plane, cars, trains, and the World War, billion died. Okay? All this they brought up to show God cruel. God this, God that, a lot of nonsense. So, correct the flaw. We have to correct the flaw. You know, we of the higher level of intellect must correct the flaw. This accusation, unfair accusation against Allah. Exalted be Allah above what they attribute to him. And they have not shown Allah his proper reverence. Okay. No just estimate have they made of Allah, such is due to him. O ye who believe, if you help Allah, he will help you. Or make your foothold firm. That means you'll be steady, you know. O young ones, protect Allah's religion, and Allah shall protect you. Protect Allah's religion, and you shall obtain Allah's protections. Allah will certainly help those who will help him. Verily Allah immensely strong, overwhelming, mighty. Okay, now we see life is nothing more than a drama. I told you, life is nothing more but a drama. This world is a stage. Look, there's the verse. And nothing is the life of this world but a play and a passing delight. It's a drama. It's to him, not to us. Life is never a passing delight to us. Life is very tumultuous. Life sometimes is horrendous. But to him, it's a play. A passing delight to him. See another one. Life in this world is but play and amusement to him, not to us. This is his play, his drama, not us. What is the life of this world but amusement and play? To him, not to us. Okay. So, every one of us got the script. Every one of us have to act according to the script. And this world is his stage. And we have to act. Okay. This is the play. And the roles are but divine script. You can see here, we have bound each human being destiny to his neck. When you're born, that destiny is bound on your neck. That's the verse. And you have to act according to this book that is bound on your neck and is set here. For those who have knowledge and faith will say, indeed, you will act according to Allah's decrees. I mean, that book until the day of resurrection. You will act according to that script until resurrection. Okay? So, let's see. A child born, infant, a child, teenagers, adult, old, and died. You see, it's there. Arranged. There is no two ways about this. Arranged nicely. And that is the play that you have to do. We have to go through. All of us. No, there is no two ways. You're born, you become a child, teenagers, adult, old, pass away. Our great-grandfather gone, our grandfather gone, our parent gone, now our turn. We gone, our children. It's a stage. Everybody played their part, they finish. Okay, go and rest at the Barzakh Ram or the netherworld. Rest there after the episode in the world. Okay. So, but you have to act according to the script, hang on your neck. There's no two ways about it. Indeed, you will tarry according to his decree until the day of resurrection. Okay, you must act. It's already there. And death is nothing more than a torn and tattered costume. When your body cannot be used anymore. Allah is so merciful, he let go your soul. You need not act anymore. Because without the soul into your body, then your action is stopped. Okay, so he let go your soul, put in the netherworld to rest, and the shirts, the costume buried. Back to earth, from earth back to earth. It's a costume. You have a costume of a woman, you have a costume of a man, and so on. You know? Okay? It's a costume. The costume is torn and tattered. He doesn't want you to use it anymore. So he release your soul. Go and rest. Your acting is finished. Okay? So you can see that is your soul. See? That your life and body. And the body is the cloth or the costume. That one died, not your soul. Okay, your soul is released and go back to the nether world, and that is a shirt. Cannot be used anymore. You bury it, bury it. No big deal about it. And yet people make reverence of the body, and some make it a shrine of the of the costume. It's crazy, man. How can you make a shrine of a rotten or discarded costume? His soul is no more there. His soul is in the nether world, resting, waiting to be resurrected. He left the torn and tattered or battered uniform behind, which decaying. You have to bury it from earth to earth, like this one. And many people reverence the body, reverence, give homage to it. What nonsense is this? These are just costume. Do you worship your shirt torn and tattered? No. You see how far Satan has deviated us, that we become their followers. We make this torn and tattered costume become shrine. We respect and pay homage and a lot of things. And people sometimes make a trip, a yearly trip to this shrine. And this is just torn and tattered costume. You bury it, gone, become earth again. What is the big deal? You know, the soul is not affected. It's at the nether world resting to be resurrected. So see, no soul does Allah place a burden greater than it can bear. That means if the body is functionless, cannot function, Allah will release the soul. That's why He say no soul will, Allah will place a burden greater than it can bear. No. If the body cannot be used anymore because of accident, sickness, old age, cannot be used, Allah will not make the soul carry the burden. No, Allah is merciful. He will release the soul. Go you to the nether world and rest. Okay? And again here, we do not burden any soul with more than it can bear. So when it's so painful, you faint. You will faint. And if you cannot continue, you will die. No cancer people will live a long time, never die, and suffer the pain. No. Allah is merciful. You have cancer. You cannot cure. Allah release your soul and bury the body. Okay. It's so merciful. As long your soul can bear and the costume is not damaged very badly, Allah will let you live. But when the costume is damaged very badly because of leukemia, because of cancer, because of pandemic, whatnot, Allah will release your soul. Your soul need not bear anymore this torn and tattered costume. And you will be in the nether world or the barzakh to rest. No more acting. Rest until resurrection. Okay? And of course, it's his script, his stage. He got the right to direct. And he says, he make none to share in his decision and his rule. You cannot interfere. A child, infant born, become a child, teenagers, mature, old, died. That's the system. You can't change. If he doesn't want to change, you can't change. All the trees, the leaf up there, the root down there. Everywhere you go, the same. You want it that way. Unless he doesn't, it will change. But he want that way, everywhere you go throughout the world, you see the trees, leaf up there, root down there. You see human being, the head here, hand here, legs here, everywhere. He wants it that way. You cannot share. Okay? Say, all is from Allah. What has happened to these people that they seem to understand nothing? It's really crazy, man. Look, it's his stage, his script, and from the top of your head until your leg, all belong to him. 100% belong to him. Nothing belong to you. So he does what he can do to his own possession, not yours. Right? Why don't you all understand? You can do anything to his possession, not yours. Okay. And then he said, they asked, have we any sin? Can we interfere in our life, in the predestination? No. Really, all power of decision rests solely with Allah. Look, I've been telling you, predestination is like an ocean. Ocean. And yet the fish swim freely. So exercise your free will, but still within predestination. Okay? It's the right to direct. Here again, the punishment of hell. The punishment is but threat only, see? Nor is thy Lord ever unjust. In the least, his servant is never unjust. All this talking about the hell, you see, indeed Allah wrong none, not even as much as an atom weight. So what about the hell? I look here, the hell. Indeed, we have warned you, warning you of an imminent punishment. It's a warning. Again, see, and warn it with those who fear that they will be gathered to the Lord, not for them or other than him, any protector, and not any intercessor, so that they may become righteous. So warn, so they come back to fall. It's not, he doesn't mean to torture, but give you warning. Hopefully you come back. Here also. And description of hell is a reminder to humanity. And look here. Indeed, the fire of the fire is of the greatest affliction, a warning to mankind. And look, the grandmother say to the granddaughter, if you steal again grandma's cookie, grandma will shoot you till kingdom comes. You think grandma will do it? And there is a tradition which says Allah loves love mankind or love his creation more than a mother loves the child. There is a tradition of that. So here grandma said, you take one more cookie, I'm going to shoot you till kingdom come. You think grandma going to do it? And why do you go around town and say, hey, grandma want to kill her granddaughter everywhere? Hey, grandma going to kill her granddaughter for stealing a cookie. Are you fair to God? Are you fair to Allah? Going around, Allah put them in hell. You will be put in hell. You'll be tortured and you tortured eternally. Are you being fair to Allah? Are you being fair? Did he do it? It's a warning. Like grandma say, you steal one more cookie, I shoot you to kingdom come. Do you go around town and say, hey, grandma going to shoot the granddaughter? Do you? Why you did this to Allah? Saying, oh, Allah put people in hell, Allah put in hell, Allah will torture them eternally, they will suffer. Why? He just warning you. All right, that's all. That's a warning. Remember, he said, remember what he says here, Allah said, indeed, Allah wrongs none, not even as much as atom weight. Can you see that? Can you see again here? Nor is thy Lord ever unjust in the least to his servant. Why you go around and talking about hell? Allah put people in hell, Allah torture people in hell. Why? He's just threatening. And yet you make people believe that Allah is cruel. And the Western people grab hold of this and say, the God of Islam is very cruel. The God of Islam is mad. The God of Islam is diabolical. The God of Islam enjoy torturing people. Because you go around telling that God will put people in hell. He's just threatening. You see, these are people of lower intellect talking nonsense. Like a grandma went to shoot the granddaughter for stealing cookie. The grandma just threatened. Okay, and what the Christian learned is the Christian, and they changed their approach to preaching. God love you. God love you. You believe in Jesus, you will go to heaven. You believe in Jesus, your sin all forgiven. You believe in Jesus, you build a castle for you in paradise. You see, they changed the technique. No more talking about hell. No more. And that's why Pope Francis say, when they ask, oh, Pope Francis, is there hell? He said, no, don't have. Pope Francis, you know, come out in the press. When they ask, is there hell? He said, no. See, the Christians have changed their approach. But we, terrible, man. Every time you listen to this preacher, you will go to hell. You will suffer eternally. God is cruel. Immediately people think God is cruel. Every time they lecture, they will talk nonsense. Did Allah done that? Not yet. Just a warning. Just a reminder. Just to frighten you. But yet, every time you lecture, God, as if God will put people in hell. As if. And the Western people capitulate on that. Say, Islam, God is very cruel. Like to torture people. Sadistic, diabolical, because your words telling them, God will put you in hell, torture you, burn you eternally. They take it that way. As I say, if a grandma say, you take one more my cookie, I'll shoot you to the granddaughter. Will she do it? No. It's just frightening the child. That's all. Please change your technique in teaching Islam. Don't show Allah is cruel. Never, never, never. See, nor is thy Lord ever unjust in the least. And here again, indeed Allah wrongs none, not even as much an atom weight. Please change your approach. Stop talking about hell. And when these people stop talking about hell, half of their ammunition gone, or maybe 3/4, they don't know what to lecture anymore. They lost their appetite. They can't lecture. They must touch on wrong. They must touch on reward. They must talk about hell. Then it can work. But this put Islam in a very bad image. Very bad. Stop this. Always show Allah, as He said, merciful, benevolent, loving, forgiving, forbearing. Yes, that is Allah. That is our Allah. Not the one you talk about putting people in hell, burn people, torture people. That is not our Allah. He's just threatening, reminding, warning. All right. So please change your technique, okay? And His mercy. Verily Allah commanded on himself that His mercy receive His anger. You talk about Allah putting people in hell. Did you mention about His mercy? You didn't mention about His mercy. His mercy precedes His anger. Oh, this is wrong. You're going to hell. What the hell are you talking about? Why don't you mention about the mercy of Allah? Precedes His anger. You don't. And remember, before you are born, Allah has put that seed, of faith in you. And that seed of faith, according to Jesus, inserted in his heart a light this light becomes sin, yet extinguished. That means your declaration that Allah is your God is always in yourself. Your declaration before you are born, yes, I declare that you are my Lord. And that statement Allah put into your soul. So in your soul, there is that statement, I declare that you are my Lord. Okay, and because of that, you see here, Rasulullah said, God said to the angel, do not allow anyone with even a little seed of faith in their heart into hell. So these people, every one of them got it. Even the unbelievers got this little seed of faith in them. Allah inserted, is there, even darkened by sin, still there. The declaration that you are my Lord is there. And Allah said to the angel, don't allow anyone with even a little seed of faith into hell. So everyone have that little seed of, and that is where his mercy received his anger. And look here, in this verse, then we granted the book to those who have chosen from our servants. This the book, maybe the Torah, maybe the angel, or maybe the book given to David. Okay. Some of them, then this book is passed down to the descendant. Some of them wrong themselves, some follow a middle course, and some are foremost in good deeds. So the descendant got the book, be it this Bible, be it Quran, be it the Torah, or be it the Psalm of David, passed down to descendant. Some become very good people, holy and all that. Some middle, and some wayward. But what Rasulullah said, and this is what the prophet said, the Holy Prophet said, interpreted the verse, all of them are of the same rank, and all of them enter paradise. Whether it's wayward, whether it's mediocre, whether it's at most in his good deed, Rasulullah say, all of them are of the same rank, and all of them enter paradise. See? And not only that, look at it. Allah has reserved a side 100-fold of love, of his love for his creation. He had given one to all his creation, and they are able to love, including wild animals, to their young ones. He reserved 99 love. He reserved 99 of this love for us in the hereafter. 99 love waiting for us. One love make the whole world can love one another. 99 love waiting for us. And what did Rasulullah say? Should the unbelievers knew of the love reserved by Allah for his creation, they will not be disheartened from entering paradise. All will go into paradise. Any problem with you that you don't want them to go to paradise? Any problem with you? If you want to put everybody in paradise, any problem with you? If you have a problem, look into your heart. It's very dirty. If you go into hell, do you want? So please, one of the disciples told me, Ustadz, they say Allah is most forgiving. If one person he doesn't forgive, he's not most forgiving. You see the logic there? He's most forgiving. If one person he did not forgive, he's not most forgiving. Yes, everyone will be forgiven. His mercy receive his anger. Everyone will enter paradise. And it's not your worship, You can pray until your forehead will turn black. You can pray, worship day and night. You can fast every day. You still can go to hell. It's not the worship. You can do all the good deeds, you still go into hell. And this applied to Rasulullah. So he said, Rasulullah said, A person only enter into paradise because of Allah's approval, not your worship, not of your pieties. And that applies to me too, Rasulullah said. So don't look at a person because he doesn't worship so much or he did not worship at all. Don't look at them as hell dweller. Don't. You enter into paradise because Allah's approval, not your worship. And you see this. This guy murdered 100 people. 100 people he murdered. Then he was looking for salvation. He walked to look for salvation. He fell down and died. 100 victims, 100 victims he killed. He's looking for salvation. He walked and died. The angel from hell said, this is mine. The angel from paradise said, no, this is mine. So the instruction came, measure which is near. And this guy, when measured, is nearer to paradise. And he become listed as a paradise dweller. And he killed 100%. And look again here. They say, oh, Allah will forgive sin against Allah. Allah will not forgive sins against human being. And this nonsense they're talking. Look, this guy murder 100%, The sin he done to the family of this 100%, is a sin done to human being. And Allah forgive. And what the nonsense they talk, Allah forgive sin against Allah, will not forgive against human being. Here, look at this. 100 victim he killed. There's injustice to all the families. Yet Allah forgive. And look at this. Prostitute. Old prostitute. Matured prostitute. Saw a dying dog. Use her shoe to fetch water. And let the dog drink from the water. And the dog survived. Her sin was forgiven. Hey, this prostitute, matured one. 10 years have been prostitute. Yet Allah forgave. Never worship. You ask the one who killed 100% before he entered paradise, hey man, hang on. Tell us, what did you do to enter paradise? He will say, I killed 100%. He never done any worship. Ask this prostitute, hey, what good deed you have done to enter paradise? No. What I did in my life, I become prostitute. That's all. So my whole life I'm prostitute. And yet enter paradise. So don't say you are imam or you are whatever, you will enter paradise. No way. Rasulullah also say, even me, without God approval, I will not enter the paradise. Look, it's here. A person only enters to paradise because of Allah's approval. And what about you? And the Prophet said, applies to me too. Okay. So please, have a clean heart. And here is the best. This is what we call this. It really hit the nail into the coffin. See? Jesus prayed to God, oh God, forgive Iblis and his cronies. And what God said? Jesus, behold, I will pardon him. Iblis, I will pardon him. Only ask him to say, Lord God, I've sinned. Have mercy on me. And I will pardon him and restore him to his first state. You see, restore him back to his first state. The only thing, oh God, please forgive me. And look at this offer. It's like a rain check, There is no time limit, God said, I must accept within 1 year. No, it's an open offer. Look, the greatness of God. If he can forgive Iblis, what is human being, man? Compared to Iblis. Okay, Lucifer or Iblis. You see the sin that Iblis had committed from generation to generation, and yet Allah can forgive. And what you talk about human being, we only live how many years? 80, 90. Iblis, how many generations? From Adam, Adam, Noah, all until today, still alive. How many generations? How many sins committed? And yet Allah say, you need to say, oh Lord, I have committed sin. Please forgive me. Allah forgive him and put him back into his former position, Allah, so great. And the offer is open. Offer is open. Open, no time limit. And what are you going to say? You think Allah cruel? If he can forgive Iblis, what about the others? No problem. Okay. Not is the life of the world save a pastime and sport to him. Better far is the abode of the hereafter for those who keep their duty to Allah. You keep your duty. That what it may keep to your script. Keep your script faithfully, and everyone keep to their script. Everyone, no exception. Everyone. Born unbelievers, live unbelievers, die unbelievers. Born believers, live believers, die believers. Born woman, live woman, die woman. Same for men. They follow the script 100%. No deviation. And what he says, but those endue with knowledge and faith will say, indeed, you will follow your script until the day of resurrection. Every one of us follow the script, and therefore those who keep their duty, Allah, the abode of the hereafter is waiting for you. Every one of us. Okay? But the problem is, you deny this. Cannot be. Who are you to deny? You want others to go into hell, but you go to paradise. You yourself cannot assert that you will go to paradise. Okay. Paradise is the ultimate reward for all. What is the life of this world but amusement and play? But verily the home in the year after, that is the life indeed, if they but knew. You see here, verily the home in the hereafter, that is life indeed, if they, Allah didn't say the believers, no. If they but knew. He didn't say the believers. They mean all of us. Believers, unbelievers, the same. We all follow the script. Okay. Moses asked, oh Lord, among the dweller of paradise who the most lofty, and those who have chosen by my hand and have planted dignity in them, and I'm waiting for them. I thought that which eyes have never said, that is the paradise. Eyes that have never seen, nor even hear by any ears, nor even their heart can even imagine. Now, let me tell you this. People always got confused between heaven and paradise. Heaven and seven heaven, but they are not paradise. Nobody has yet entered or seen the paradise. Not yet. That's why Allah say, eyes have never seen. You heard about, this Enoch. It is Enoch enter paradise at the fourth level. That is heaven, fourth heaven. Like Jesus is second heaven, Adam in the first heaven, the Garden of Eden. All these are garden of the heaven. It's not paradise. Paradise nobody has seen yet. I have never seen, nor even hear by any ears, nor even their heart can, not yet. And these the gems of all in future. All of us will get it. No? And see, Jesus said, of this delight, said Isaac is Ishaq, the prophets. The eyes of men have not seen, his ears have not heard, nor has the human heart conceived. See, same that is stated in the Quran, same in the Hadith, and here in the Bible, a gospel. That which God has prepared for them that love Him. Okay, know you wherefore they have not seen, heard, conceived such. Nobody has seen yet. later on, all of us died, then resurrected, then we'll go in. Then we'll see the real paradise. And who can be the true guides? And look here. Accordingly, it's necessary that a man be taught of the prophet of God, for they have to clear the light to teach the way to go paradise. So the prophet will lead. That's why 124,000 prophets were sent to guide. Okay? Just it is necessary that he who had his disease, eyes disease, should be guided by help. So if you are blind, you are not knowledgeable, you should be guided by those who have knowledge, not blind. And here, it is they whose heart he has inscribed faith and whom has strengthened with inspiration himself. These are the people who can guide. Among those we created a group of people who guide with the truth and act justly according to it. These are the people who have knowledge of God, who can teach. You see here, such a man possesses knowledge of God. They are like deputy prophet or messenger. They always receive guidance and inspiration from Allah. These are the people. These are the Sufis. These are the elects, you know. And first, he must be one who have knowledge of God. Okay? The foundation of a house is its base. Foundation of religion is knowledge of God. There is a hadith tradition from the Prophet. The foundation of religion is knowledge of God. And in the book of Said Sabiq, right? Marifatullah, knowledge of God, is the basis of foundation of all spiritual upliftment. If you don't have, how are you going to teach? You're blind as a bat. Okay? And you are not knowledgeable at all. How can you teach? And how can you hate people who have this knowledge? You can't. They are the beacon that bring the Muslim together. When the Sharia of the Judaism, the Jew, disappear, what fill the vacuum is the Zionists, and they are very cruel. When the Sharia of the Christian disappear, I was in the Christian school, I was learning their jurisprudence in England, and their Sharia is very tougher than Islam. You know? Their Sharia also gone. When their Sharia gone, who took over? Politician. And that's why the world go haywire. Now, with a politician in. The Sharia of Islam will go because their intellect not that high to guide people. They only know how to state the rules, but not the knowledge of God. You will see this later. I show you, the professor will tell you this. Okay? And Rasulullah had said they will follow the Judaism, they will follow the Christian. Even these people enter into the lizard hole, they will enter. Same, gone. Who will take place in the vacuum? The Sufis. They are the one who will bring back the people to know God and to worship the only one God. Like all the prophets taught their people to know God and to worship only one God. So the pioneer in Islam, when the Prophet brought Islam to Mecca, these people are unbelievers. And yet the Prophet can teach them knowledge of God. And they become the best ummah of all the Islamic ummah. The best. The Prophet said the best ummah is during my time. You know the sacrifice they did, because once they know God, they broke all the big barrel of expensive liquor because it's prohibited. They let go of all the pigs, the swine, all, because this is their trade. And lost a lot of money. and they have 100 wives, they let go, remain 4. See the sacrifice they're doing, the best woman. Because the first thing that the prophet taught them was knowledge of God, not rules and rules, nonsense. Knowledge of God. Okay. So what Imam Ghazali say, it is obligatory for you to know who you worship before you do your worship. Did these people teach these people to know God? No, rules. If here Shafi'i rules, India Hanafi rules, further up Hanbali rules, further up Maliki or the Wahhabi or Salafi rules. Rules and rules. Further up Shia rules. You know, a person whose worship is incomplete if he does not know Allah. And that is from Syekh Abdul Qadir Jalani. Okay. And here Imam Ghazali, let it be known that the existence of Allah is crystal clear. However, the prerequisite to this is to achieve knowledge of God. You don't, you are blind. It's crystal clear. Allah's existence is crystal clear. You don't see this, you are blind. But in order to see this, you must achieve Ma'rifatullah. Okay. Once you see this, you see their eyes overflowing with the tears of what they recognize of the truth. They say, oh Lord, put us among the witnesses of the truth. When you see this, you cry, you feel the existence of Allah. You will shiver and cry. Those truly fear Allah among His servants who have knowledge, right? For Allah is exalted in might and of forgiving. So once you have the knowledge, you cry, shiver, you feel His existence. Those gifted with knowledge clearly see that what has been revealed to you from your Lord is the truth, the Quran, very clear. And that it guides to the path of the Almighty, the praiseworthy. And you see here, if you don't know, ask the people of knowledge. Ask them, they have the knowledge. But they are very proud. They stick to themselves and refuse to accept others are better than them. They don't. Okay? So you can't be the guide if you are blind, ignorant, and deaf. And look, Allah said, are those equal, those who know and those who do not know? Can the blind be held equal to the seeing? Well, you then consider not. These were blind. These people have no knowledge. How are you going to guide the Ummah? And that is why more and more Muslims will give up the religion, because you can't answer all the attacks against the religion. You can't answer. Okay? There's come to you enlightenment from your Lord. Whoever sees it, it is to the benefit of his soul. Whoever remains blind, see, it is to his detriment. I'm not your guardian. I open this knowledge. You can't see it. You can't see the existence of God or feel His existence. Your business. I done my job. I explain. You see, after this, I'll again bring you, open this thing to you. Hopefully you can feel His existence. You don't, so be it. The parable of two groups is that the blind and the deaf, and the seeing and the hearing. See? If you're blind, you don't want to learn, then you're also deaf. You don't want to listen, you're deaf. Okay, same. So the blind and the deaf is never the same with the seeing and hearing. They are never equal. Say, how can those who know be equal to those who don't know? Only those who have understanding will take it. All of you have the knowledge of God. All of you. You have learned from me years and years. You have the understanding. So you are not equal to them. Remember this. Okay? Keep away from them if they cannot accept you. So be it, no? And Allah said, whoever is blind to the truth that Allah exists, you can feel Him, His existence in this world. will be blind in the hereafter, and even far more astray from the right way. And this follow Hidir, what Hidir say. Hidir say, how can you be patient about things that you don't understand? These people don't understand about the knowledge of God. And what Hidir say, this is the parting between you and me. We cannot be together. Remember this. Hidir inform us. These people are on the other side of the river, never with us. If they are not knowledgeable about Allah, the knowledge of God, if they can't see or feel the existence of God, there's certainty of vision and certainty of knowledge, just leave them alone. Okay? This is a parting between you and me. And look at this. This is Professor Jeffrey Long. Okay? I okay.
Rules, rules, rules. I hadn't studied this religion myself and entered this religion, and all I received were rules, rules, rules. I would have left it the next day.
I take the hit.
They stated many, many major themes. You know what I was taught when I became a rules. I hadn't studied this religion myself and entered this religion, and all I received were rules, rules, rules. I would have left it the next day. Thank God I read the
Okay, so you can see that he said rules, rules, rules. Let's teach you the rules, rules, rules. So, Yasin, how you get this off? Up?
Ustadz
Okay, we go back to our lecture. Okay. Okay, it's okay. Okay, you listen, Professor Jeffrey Long. He say if we can convert, they talk about rules, rules. He would have given Islam. Same, we have one our follower. I think he's from Sarawak. He said the same thing. I become convert. They keep on giving me rules, and I'm lost. Luckily, I found your lecture. Then I come to know about God. Okay. So that is the end of our lecture today. Now we go back to Bayu, and then we come back and try to achieve enlightenment.
Iya.
Okay, Ayu?
Baik, terima kasih Ustadz. Alhamdulillah, sahabat semuanya. Baru saja kita simak Grand Secret yang ke-10. Insya Allah kita sekarang enlighten kembali ya Ustadz ya. 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Ya, silakan
Okay.
Ustadz.
So 10 minutes we have achieving enlightenment. You have learned. You see, when you say B, is containment appear. Now look, I put in black because no form, no shape. That's why I put it in black. But we know that his containment is there. Right? Even we don't see, but we know Allah is there and his containment is there. So from B, then from the content come the essence, the manifestation. The first one is the essence, and then come the form. That's the room. This certainty of knowledge. From the containment to the essence to the form. And then you are in there. Okay. Now you know the stages. Containment first, the essence and the form. Second is the essence, third is the form. Okay. So when you get rid of the form, you are facing the essence. This through knowledge, and with the knowledge, certainty of vision. You get rid of the form, you know, for your knowledge, that is the essence. When you get rid of the essence, you know you are facing the containment, and what you hear, you say, I know that you exist, O Allah, even though I can't see you. And right now, I can feel that you are looking at me. Even though I can't see you, right? I know you exist even though I can't see you. And right now, I can feel that you're looking at me. Hey, look, if you believe Allah exists, I mean, you don't believe I can't help you, but if you believe Allah exists, if you believe He can see, can hear, and have all His attributes. So if you believe He exists and He can see, can you see that He's looking at you? Except He can't show Himself, you will be destroyed. But you know He's looking at you. You see nothing. But you know behind that nothingness is Him looking at you. It's like this is like a one-way mirror. He's looking from the other side to you. You believe He exists, you must know He's looking at you. Unless you don't believe He exists, then I can't help you. But you believe He exists. And when you eliminate all this and you come to a blank, you know behind that He's looking at you. Because He exists. He sees. And if you can feel that, it gives you it shudder you know, because you know you are facing Him and He's looking at you. And you shake, shiver. That's what we want. The realization, the deep realization in you, or consciousness in you, you're conscious of His existence. That consciousness we are looking for. And that will change you for the better. It will ultimately turn you around and you become a better person and become God-fearing. You become a beautiful person. You regain back your innocence, born again. Your life is completely changed. You are reborn. That's what you want to happen. Many of you have got it. I hope many more to get. When you get, you know, you must say to yourself, I believe in Allah. I believe Allah exists. If I believe Allah exists, then He must be looking at me. He's not blind. Feel it. that he's looking at you. And that will give you a shiver. You know, it's like you're walking in the jungle and suddenly you realize a tiger looking at you. Whoa, you know, you shake like hell. Same thing. Some people, they walk to their house, there's a big tree. Just bought the house, nothing happened. But when someone say, hey, that tree you pass every night, that one is haunted, you know. This time he passed near the tree, he start shiver. He feel the ghost there. Look, if you can feel God, you feel Allah existent. He encompasses all. And looking at it. And you eliminate this form mentally, eliminate the essence. You know you are looking at him. Cannot, wherever you turn, that is my content. You know, you feel it. If you're a true Muslim, you believe Allah exists, then you must also believe that He's looking at you right now. And that doesn't send you a shiver, you still have not got it. It must give you a shiver. He's looking at you, you know, it's like a tiger in the jungle. Suddenly you realize a tiger looking at you, you shiver, oh my God. Will tiger jump on me? Or you pass beside a haunted house, you start shivering. You feel the existence of the ghost. Can you feel the existence of Allah? And you say you're Muslim, you say Allah exists. Can you feel His existence? Can you feel His existence? Are you lying or what? If you really say you believe in Allah, you must believe He exists. And you believe He exists, you must believe He's looking at you right now. He's not blind. He say, I'm all seeing, all seeing. Nothing escaped my sight. All seeing. And all seeing all the time. 24 hours. He doesn't sleep. He doesn't sleep. Seeing you all the while, 24 hours, he doesn't sleep. He doesn't move. He doesn't sleep. He watch you. 24 hours. If you feel, if your face is that high, that he exists, and he all seeing, you can feel his existence, and he's looking at you. Oh, I know that you exist, oh Allah, even though I can't see you. And right now I can feel that you are looking at me. Yes. Indeed, those who fear their Lord unseen for them is forgiveness and a reward great. Indeed, those who fear the Lord unseen, invisible God, but you know He's there and looking at you, invisible because He doesn't want to show Himself to you, but He's looking at you. Okay? Like a person in the dark, wearing dark clothes, you can't see him. But from the dark, he can see you. Okay? In that darkness, there's a person standing there in black clothes watching you. You can't see him, but he can see you. Allah is there. Behind this facade, he's there. He exists. You believe He exists, then you know He exists. Even though you don't see Him, you know He exists. And you know He's all-seeing. That means watching at you all the time. He never sleep, never move, never eat. Watching. Encompasses all. So you feel, then you are those who fear the Lord unseen. Try to capitulate on this. Try to achieve this feeling. Try. And that is enlightenment. Once you got it, that is nirvana, enlightenment. Suddenly, a whole new frontier opened to you. Suddenly, a whole new world opened to you. Nirvana, Buddhism, Islam, enlightenment. You know, the same. Okay. So, tell yourself, I believe Allah exists. If He exists, I'm sure looking at Him. And He's sure looking at me, even though I don't see Him. Really. Okay. You see, I can feel your existence, O Allah, even though I can't see you. And that will bring your tears down because you have seen the truth. The truth is that He exists. So, unless you achieve this enlightenment, you cannot guide people. You must have received this enlightenment so you can feel this. You can guide people. Okay? I will keep on repeating this until all of you achieve enlightenment, those who have yet not. Okay? So, that for today, inshallah, we'll meet again and we may talk on the secret in the future. Okay? And next week, I'll be in Bali. And I will meet again in Bali. Will be question and answer. Okay? At Bali, so you can join like tonight. But will be question and answer because the last week of the month, there are few more places left. If you are interested to join, the lecture is sponsored. You don't need to pay. If Singapore dollar is $65, if the rupiah is about 650,000 rupiahs, and lodging, if you take the 4 days, 3 nights, it's about $150 Singapore, plus food and transportation. Okay, 4 days, 3 nights. You meet me there. Friday I'll be there. Saturday I'll be there. Lecture on Sunday. Monday I'll be coming back to Singapore. Friday, Saturday is open. You all can come and be with me. As like previously in Jakarta, Solo. When I'm free, they will come sit around me in the room and we talk of religion, answer your question, get to know each other well. Okay? So if you're free, you can come to Bali. Still, there's a lot of, there's still a few places left. You can book if you want to. So, with that, I thank you all very much and wish you Kong Hee Fa Chai. Okay? Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.